are going to make pork sausage. So we've got all of our stuff here ready to go. There we have it. Take a look at these, won't you? I'm going to show you 5 scenarios of different shot placements of where my arrow hits a hog and give you the opportunity to decide whether the shot ended in a recovery or a no-find situation. Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. We're so glad you tuned in to join us for another exciting real-world outdoor adventure right here on A Sportsman's Life. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. Today we are going to make pork sausage. So we've got all of our stuff here ready to go. We've actually started the process, and I'll kind of get into that here in just a second, but I just want to show you all of the necessary equipment that's required to make sausage. You've got your grinder, we've got our stuffer, we've got our skins, our pork skins in there that we'll use to stuff. Cheese, we've got garlic, we've got mustard, we've got paprika, salt and pepper, and the one on the end there, the pink one, that is cure. And then of course we've got some hatch chili peppers that we're going to put in there with the cheese. In this bowl, as you'll see some cubed up pork meat. So I shot a hog last week, and we were going to use only pork. So we left the fat, a lot of the fat on here, cut it into cubes. And then last night I stirred in my spices. I stirred in just a little bit of cure, and we let it sit overnight so all of that gets real absorbed into the meat. So we're going to be grinding it tonight, and then we're going to be stuffing it into sausages. And then what we'll do, leave it in the refrigerator overnight. Tomorrow we'll cold smoke those sausages and get them up to probably right around 100 degrees at most. Get some smoke on them, then we'll cool them off, we'll vacuum seal them up, and then they'll be ready to be cooked down the road. So now we're just waiting for some help. So my wife is coming home from work, and I think my next door neighbor is going to sneak over and give us a hand as well. So when you make sausage like this, sometimes an extra hand comes in handy, so to speak. So we've got everything ready to go. One thing you really like that you should have is a nice tub like this. It's all cleaned out. We've got cutting boards, we've got trays, we've got everything we need, sharp knives. We are set to go. So making sausages is really a heck of a lot of fun. Get out there and try this. It's really not all that hard. It's like I said, the only thing you really have to have is a decent grinder and a sausage stuffer, which makes the job so much easier. You can actually use the grinder. It comes with a tube for stuffing. I find these stuffers to be so much more efficient. All right, these green peppers here, you want to throw the green?
Do the green ones first?
Yeah. You just dump them in here. Perfect. All right, you ready to grind again? Smell the peppers. Buddy, this is going to be some good pork sausage right here.
Yeah, there's no complaint about that right there.
You say you should be able to make a patty, decent sized patty, and it stick to your hand. So if it doesn't stick to your hand, it might need a little more moisture. Just a little more beer, I think, is going to be our... A little more. Good. Beautiful. I think that's what we need right there. Just a little more moisture. This is looking mighty good. Wild boar sausage coming up.
Freshly harvested,
Oh yeah.
expertly packed.
Yep, she's sticking good now. No, that's perfect. That is perfect. All right, let's cook up a little piece of this and see what she tastes like, huh?
Let's do it.
Well, we added just a little extra pepper as we felt it needed, and we were ready to go. So the next step in our process is making sure your skins are fully soaked and very pliable. I'm actually running water, as you see here, through the skin itself to really soften them up. That makes it so much easier to slide on the tube of your stuffer. So here we go. We're going to put this on the tube itself here, slide it on there very carefully, and prepare to start cranking out some sausage. One thing to remember is you can always add a little additional water to the skin as you're sliding it on the tube, just to make sure it goes on easy, and do not tear it. That's the one thing you don't want to do, is to tear your skins, because then you have to back that part off and remove it. So here we go. We are stuffing sausage. Another thing you'll note is as I make my sausages here, I'm twisting one toward me, and then the next sausage that comes off, I twist the opposite direction. And what that does is make sure that none of the twistings come undone. Upon completion, tie off the end, and you've got sausages ready to go. Brought to you by Dallas Safari Club, Conservation, Education, and Hunter Advocacy. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus Firearms, maker of the Raging Hunter. Well, there you have it, folks. Here are our sausage we made last night. They have been sitting in the refrigerator overnight. You want to get those skins kind of dried out. Now you got to be careful not to puncture the skins, but what we're going to do is we're going to carefully take these out, and we're going to cut the sausage links into individual sausages, and then we will get them on the smoke and tex. So we want to start by cutting each one of these in half carefully. Now when we smoke them, we want to make sure that they're not touching each other. You want the smoke to rise up through all of the sausages so they smoke equally. We want to get a good smoke on them, and it's going to take, probably a good 3 hours at 125 degrees to get the smoke flavor. Now we are smoking these with a combination. We're smoking them with pecan and applewood. So we're going to try mix, if you will, for our smoke. We want to bring the internal temperature of these, probably get it up to about 100+ degrees. So when we're done, they're not fully cooked, they're smoked. And then we'll put them in vacuum seal bags. We'll freeze them up, and then of course we'll cook them when we're ready to have some sausages for dinner. So here we go. These are looking good. You can leave them linked together in a string of sausages if you want to cook them that way. That's doable, but you don't have to. You can cut them apart. Just make sure you don't puncture the skins, that's all. Hatch chili and cheese with a little bit of beer in there, believe it or not. They were soaked in, so the flavor should be amazing on these. We tested them before we stuffed them. We always want to do that. Make darn sure what you're going to stuff tastes like what you want it to taste like. All right, one more group here, and we will be set to go. And get these babies out on the smoke and tex. There we have it. take a look at these, won't you? Oh, we missed one here. There we go. That is what I'm talking about right there. Look at that. Homemade sausage. This stuff is not hard to do. Made with a wild boar I shot earlier in the week. So, all right, it's time to get these out onto the smoke and text, get them arranged on the grill. Again, so they're not touching. You want to spread them apart so smoke gets between each one. So let's go out there and let's get these put on the grill. Again, we want to make sure our sausages are not touching when we put these in here. Make sure that smoke can come up between every sausage. All right, let's show you what we got here. In the smoke and text, yep, she is going. 125 degrees. It is noon. I'll be back out here about 3 o'clock. We'll check them out. We'll be back. All right, we have our sausages. We've taken them off the smoke and text. And what you want to do is, this is a little bit of ice water. We're just going to drop them all in this ice water, because what you want to do is stop the cooking process. And really, we weren't cooking these thoroughly. All we were doing is smoking them. We were adding smoke to these sausages. Now we'll vacuum seal them all up, and then when you cook them, you want to cook them to about 160 degrees on the grill. So again, we were not cooking these, we were just adding smoke to them. So a little bit of pecan and applewood is what we used. So we'll get these in this water here, just let them cool down a little bit, and then we're going to start vacuum sealing these bad boys up. All right, folks, there you have it. We have wrapped up the sausage making. So these are smoked hatch chili and cheese pork sausages from the hog that I shot. And as you can see here, they are not cooked. They are smoked. So these will go into the freezer, and when we take them out and we're ready to cook them, we will put them on the grill and bring them up to about 160 degrees, and then they'll be primed for eating. So there you have it. Now it's time to get out my vacuum sealer. Get a good seal on those bad boys, put them in the freezer, and we will be eating well. And that about wraps it up, folks. Thanks for joining me here on A Sportsman's Life. Making pork sausage, not that difficult. Yep, hatch chili and cheese pork sausage from a wild hog I shot. Easy to make, and we have a lot of good meals right here. A Sportsman's Life is also brought to you by Mossberg, American built, American strong. The YO Steakhouse, Catch and Release Apparel, AGM Global Vision, your go-to for thermal hunting scopes and spotters. Pyramid Air, your one-stop shop for everything air guns.
This is Mr. Whitetail's first trip to Lake Texoma. How do you like it?
I absolutely love it. I've been all around this lake, and I've always heard about you guys, and I knew I wasn't going to go fishing until I got to go fish with y'all. So it took a little time for us to get there.
Get out there and get another one.
This is fantastic, by golly. Absolutely the greatest fishing in the world.
I'm going to show you 5 scenarios of different shot placements of where my arrow hits a hog, and give you the opportunity to decide whether the shot ended in a recovery or a no-find situation. As you can see, this arrow penetrates right behind the front shoulder, represented by the green dot. Was this a recovery or a no-find? I took this shot on a hog that was quartering away from me. As you see, it almost appears as though he's being shot in the belly, but remember, that angle is going forward toward the front right leg. Is this a recovery or is this a no-find? On this particular shot, we see the arrow hitting the hog very high in the back, above the vitals. With this being hit so high in the back, is this a recovery or is this a no-find? While this hog looks like he has a target on his back, I shot him low right behind the front shoulder at a very steep angle, as the heart in a hog is very low in their chest. With this, is this a recovery or is this a no-find? On this last scenario, the hog was hit broadside in the center of the hog. Is this a recovery or is this a no-find? Just remember, the use of lighted nocks will generally assist you in determining if your shot will be a recovery or a no-find. Even if you think it's a no-find, you owe it to the game you pursue to spend the time looking for the animal. There have been many times where I swore it would be a no-find, only to find my game.
Folks, this segment was brought to us by Gearhead Archery, Smoke Intex Electric Smokers, Snaplock Hunting Blinds, YO Ranch Headquarters, Ultramatic Feeders, and Catfish Pro. Tune in next week for some more real-world outdoor adventures right here on A Sportsman's Life.